What is Pentecost? Pentecost is sudden and powerful arrival of the Holy Spirit in and around the disciples and their friends gathered together in Jerusalem. Pentecost means the 50th day and marks the end of the Easter season. According to the second chapter in Acts, here is what happened. Suddenly, a sound like the blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit enabled them. Now there were staying in Jerusalem God-fearing Jews from every nation under heaven. When they heard this sound, a crowd came together in bewilderment, because each one heard their own language being spoken. Utterly amazed, they asked, "Aren't all these who are speaking Galileans? Then how is it that each of us hear them in our native language?" Peter then boldly told the crowd about Jesus, that he was the Messiah, and more than 3,000 were baptized. This is the birthday of the church. This was a major turning point for the church. It changed all that day. The Holy Spirit arrived in a new, powerful way and continues to be present in each of us today. The Holy Spirit advocates, teaches, and empowers us to tell God's story. The Holy Spirit breaks down the walls between us with love and goes beyond differences in how we look and live. Pentecost should be a community-wide celebration. Christina Sines said, "As the Holy Spirit fell on the disciples, the barriers of language and culture were broken down, not so that everyone thought and looked the same, but so that everyone understood each other in their own language and culture. In God's new kingdom culture, we don't become an amorphous lump or homogeneity, but learn to appreciate and respect our differences." The symbols of Pentecost are wind, fire, and the dove.